That should be better. Can you hear me now? Thanks for saying something, Michelle. I've been doing some work with some text or speech to text program, some software on the computer here because I have so much work to do on my book, and I really detest typing. It's so much easier to speak it. So I was doing that today and busy changing all sorts of settings, and I messed something up. But thank you for pointing that up. Really appreciate that. Yay is right. So, we were talking about this morning how our thoughts are not really our own. And I want to read to you a great article in regards to that. And that will be our little evening session this evening. Do you ever realize that everything going on in your mind, every thought, feeling, sensation, everything you are aware of, is in fact happening only in your private internal world? This hits a lot of people really hard. Your thoughts appear only to you and are not being heard by anyone else whatsoever. There is one physical world, as far as we can tell from our senses, but billions of different internal worlds. We are all in our own separate theaters, witnessing entirely different shows, and yet we behave as if we were all in the same audience, watching the very same event, participating in life. Why is it so important to contemplate this truth? To meditate on this is liberating because it implies that we are personally living inside our heads, and that is not real. We are aware of our thoughts, so in a sense they are real, but of course our thoughts do not exist outside of our awareness. There is nowhere else where the thought is appearing to you at this moment. And unlike the way we imagine it, our thoughts are not solid. Thoughts will not walk by on the street. Where, how, and if thoughts even exist within the body is not clear, and we know that they don't. That they exist as the cumulative whole of the human egoic condition, and that we pull out of that. What makes a thought feel so real, and this is the crux of it, okay? Because of course we buy into our thoughts totally. What makes a thought feel real is the attention we bring to it. You see, if we sit on the bank and we watch those thoughts stream by, and we're just giving a loose attention to the stream itself, we're not engaged in the stream. But as soon as we pay a thought a little too much attention, it's like hooking it with a hook. Except that thought is a much bigger fish than you realize. And it's going to pull you into that stream. And one thought that you lend energy to quickly reproduces itself. It multiplies and becomes more thoughts that relate to that same thought. So you can see how if you start having damaging thoughts about yourself, thoughts of depression and thoughts of sadness and anger, that if you buy into even one of these thoughts, that thought will multiply into many thoughts that all relate to that same initial thought. We link the two, okay? The thought and the object that the thought is about, i.e. something I'm thinking about Kelly, we link the two of them together. And in fact, the two are not really connected at all. Our thought does not affect the object of that thought unless we believe it does. How freeing it is to know that if we do not attend to a thought, answer it, change it, identify with it, it literally ceases to exist. It continues down that thought stream. It evaporates back into that environment, back into that egoic hole. And the way we need to remove these thoughts from that egoic hole is through our conscious awareness. When we allow them to simply stream by, We take energy out of that thought pattern, not only from ourselves, that energy thought pattern disappearing, but that energy thought pattern disappearing in the whole of humanity. This is one of the beautiful aspects about understanding that your thoughts are not your own. When you begin to wake up, it is very normal to want to go out there and try and save the world, save other people, wake other people up. The sad truth of it is you can't wake anybody up. They have to wake up. You can certainly show them the path and the doors, but only they can step through those doors. It is simply a beautiful thing that we can realize that in working on ourselves, in working on our conscious awareness, we are not only serving ourselves, we're actually serving the whole of humanity. You say, we know everything is vibration, so you can imagine what sort of shape that etheric cloud is around this planet right now. You can imagine what the vibration is. You know, there's a lot of really survival and low-level dissonant vibratory fields hanging around our planet, thanks to what we're doing and what we're thinking about, and that collective egoic cloud. In order to be a point of light within that cloud, in order to sort of dispel the darkness, if we must use those terms, we learn to simply observe and to be aware but not attach ourselves. And in that, we take energy back out of those thoughts and restore that energy back into ourselves and back into the whole of humanity, raising humanity's consciousness just a hair's breadth every time we raise our own. It can be a bit frightening to realize that we are the only one having the experience that we are living in our head, and that what we are calling our experience doesn't exist in any real sense, except for an instant inside our minds. So too, it can be unsettling to consider that there really is no shared experience going on whatsoever, because each of us is a unique filter. Creation does not double up. Each of us is a one of a kind. We do not choose the thoughts and feelings based on those thoughts that appear before us. They simply appear into our awareness and then disappear like fireflies in the night. The question begs, if each one of us is having different thoughts, living an entirely different circus, if you will, and none of us that we haven't actually scripted these thoughts ourselves, they're coming in on their own accord, then to whom or what are all these separate and individual performances appearing? Who or what is the larger audience, the collective awareness within all of these individual events occur? This is a question to ponder deeply. And so the next time a thought appears before you within your awareness, remember that it is not real in the sense that it exists outside of you, or that it's solid in any way, or that it represents reality. It is a thought from that stream drawn to you by your current vibrational state. You don't have to step into the stream. You don't have to hook the thought. You can simply realize it's not your thought and let it go. I truly hope this serves you, and I look so forward to our meditation tonight inside the group, on the group page. If you're not a member of the group yet, it is a closed group. The reason why is so that our closed group members can post freely about what's going on with them without fear of people they do not want to know. Okay, and we did that at our group members' request. 7:30, beautiful meditation, Om Ritam Namah. And otherwise, we will see you tomorrow morning when we begin day 12 of 28 days to a new consciousness. Michelle, we owe you a lot. Thank you so much for catching that I had messed up my volume again. I'll whack myself on the head one of these days again. Namaste to you all. Have a wonderful, wonderful night.